riding around on a Segway, and playing ping pong in the office. Two things I didn't expect to get roped into here at Spartan, but look where we are. Glad to see you guys could push through to part 3 of this orientation. Today we're going to cover all the basic day-to-day routines and operations of the average Spartan representative. For those who are brand new to this, focus very closely on this video as we'll uncover a multitude of those barriers to entry for success in this industry that'll allow you to determine if working this day-to-day is something that you can handle. If it is, then by the end of this video, I hope that you will have all of the necessary information you'll need to start making money as soon as possible. So let's get to it. There are 2 main categories of sales: direct and indirect. Indirect are all of the advertisements and commercials you see on television and online while you're browsing and doing whatever it is that you're doing on other platforms. Something like Amazon pops up and says, hey, check out this product. What you don't get is someone from the Amazon shipping department dropping off your package and then knocking on your door to sell you a product. That would be direct sales, and that is what we do here at Spartan. Any of those face-to-face, one-on-one, over-the-phone communication methods with potential buyers is a form of direct sale. There are a million ways to sell and market a product, as many ways, in fact, as there are ways to communicate with another human being. But the tried and true method that we employ the use of, not just at Spartan, but in the greater solar industry, is in door-to-door marketing, knocking on doors. If you come up with a better way, say one that's more cost-effective and productive than knocking on doors, that you can employ the use of, then by the end of the month, you'll probably be retired because you'll be the richest person on earth. We've been trying to figure out ways to market these products, and time again, it comes out to show that the best way to do it is by knocking on doors. Here at Spartan, you are your own boss. This is an entrepreneurial platform, so you get to determine when and how hard and how effective you work. That leads a lot of people down the path of self-destruction because what they actually need, despite the fact that they complain often about it, is a boss to tell them what to do and when. I know when I first started, when left to my own devices, I didn't work. There are 2 canonical roles that representatives at Spartan play in order to boost production. The first is the setter, and the other is the closer. The setter's role is to go out into the community, knock on doors, and talk to people to generate interest. In the same way that our organization passes on interest to installers and financiers to do the job, a setter passes on information regarding a homeowner's interest to a closer in the form of an appointment so that a closer can come by, sit down with the homeowners, and hash out all their concerns about solar. Show them the paperwork, show them the numbers, and get them to sign up. If you're brand new to this, you haven't done solar before, your role is going to start as a setter. Your job is just to get out and talk to people, get them interested in talking to a professional about solar on their home. With all that background information being given, you're probably curious what an average routine, day-to-day, week-to-week, looks like for a Spartan Solar representative. We'll dive into that, but remember, above all, you are your own boss, so you, at the end of the day, dictate how much, how often you do this job. Spartan is separated into offices. These are teams in certain geographic locations who work together to carry out the job. Despite the fact that everybody here is their own boss, they do get together in order to build each other up and build momentum so that they're all successful. Every routine, every operation is a bit different. And so take what I'm going to tell you here about the average workday with a grain of salt, as every office does things just a little bit differently. But with that being said, here's what a regular week looks like for a Spartan Solar rep. The average work week for a typical team here at Spartan is something like 5 days of work and 2 days of rest. Despite Monday through Friday being pretty cut and dry routine, most teams decide to do it Tuesday to Saturday because Saturday is like our Super Bowl. Everybody is home since they're not working their Monday through Friday job. There are more people to talk to get this information to. And so Tuesday through Saturday, 5 days a week, with 2 days off, optional to work if you're a bit more motivated than others, totally up to you.
Challenge accepted.
With that being said, an average day looks something like this. You wake up in the morning and you handle everything you have to do at home. You get breakfast, you get cleaned up, you handle the car if it needs an oil change, you go to the doctor, the dentist, whatever you got to do, get it done in the morning or on your off days. Then, by the early afternoon, something like 11 or 12 typically for teams, you meet up at your office space or wherever you designate to meet in order to set up the day. So you're teaming up with other people, you're setting aside the territory, the locations, the turf that you'll be going and working, and you're plotting out your hours so that you know what to expect from the day. After that, you break, maybe you get some lunch in you, and then you go to the doors. You go to a neighborhood and you start knocking. That usually starts around 2:30, 3 o'clock. They show up to territory and begin knocking doors until the sun goes down, having conversations with homeowners and generating those leads. It can vary how much people work and how often they're doing it. And remember, every office is a little bit different for their average structure. But typically, in the industry, most people end up working about 4 hours a day, something like 3:30 to 7:30 of concerted effort without a break. Ironically enough, that's where our first barrier to entry pops up in this section, the 4-hour-a-day work structure. You might think, coming from an hourly or salary paid job, that 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day is what's expected, and that 4 to 6 hours of work here is going to be super easy to crush. That's what everybody else thinks. But again, our turnover rate, not just as an organization, but in the industry of door-to-door sales, not just solar, but all of it, is astronomical. And it's because at the end of the day, you're your own boss. And so if you're likely to skip the edges, to cut corners, to not work all that you need to be successful, you're going to find yourself at home a lot more than out working. And that, of course, isn't good for anybody. You're not going to get fired if you're not hitting 4, 5, 6 hours every single day. Nobody here has the time and the bandwidth to micromanage you. But you're not going to be making money, so good luck staying motivated. So then it begs the question, why in the world is 4 hours so hard? See, when you get out to the doors, if you haven't had sales experience, you're going to run into a wall of rejection and negative emotion like you've never experienced before in the workplace. Not because people here are toxic to you or because the work is any difficult. It's pretty easy. You're just knocking on a door. Here's an example. Hey, how are you today, Mr. Homeowner? It's good to see you. My name is Tyler. I'm a part of an organization called Spartan doing some work here in the community. You probably saw our trucks driving by this morning. Can I talk to you about that for a second? Yeah, it's all these changes legislatively, all the stuff that we talked about in the other 2 sections that lead you to be able to take advantage of a program that's completely free and will save you a tremendous amount of money. We're just going to figure out the best time to come through. Is tomorrow or the day after a better fit to have this conversation with a professional? And that's it. That's all you're doing for 4 hours a day. So anybody can do that, except the fact that every single person you'll talk to will say no. They'll pay you to get a real job. They'll say they're just not interested and they won't have a reason. You're going to want to argue with them because they're stupid. They should have done this. It's costing them money. They need the help. And if they get the help from you, you'll make thousands of dollars. So why not do it? And that's something you'll have to contend with pretty much every moment of every day. And it is not easy.